You think Joseph just fulfilled his mandates because God loved him? No, that man who worked hard. He worked very hard. He was sold as a slave into Egypt. He was working as a slave boy. And he worked so hard that even as a slave, he became the best. He became the best in the place where he was sold out of. So, even though that was not his calling yet, but he was working his way to his calling, to his destiny. So, but of course, things go wrong sometimes in life and force majeure. But that force majeure didn't derail him. Of course, he was sent to prison, but even in prison, that hard work still saw him through. You see, it is a confirmation that it's only through hard work we could fulfill the mandate of God upon our life. Hard work spoke for, vindicated Joseph. Even in slavery, hard work vindicated him. Hard work vindicated him when he was a slave boy. Hard work vindicated him when he was in prison. Hard work vindicated him even when they were betraying him. When his friends disappointed him, the ones he helped and prophesied for, he still kept on working hard. And that's why, eventually he was so close to God, and he was working hard with God as well. He was so close to God that God could, he was the only one that knew the revelation of the dream of Pharaoh. And there were other people there as well. There were other prophets, or there were other seers, or there were other wizards and witches and wizards that were, the magicians that were there in Egypt that couldn't give interpretation. And the reason why Joseph was the only one who was able to give that interpretation was because he was working with God. He was close with God. He was a friend of God. And as a friend of God, he was able to come forward with that information. He was able to come forward with information because that's what I taught about in my series on prayers. If you have listened to my series on prayers, you need to listen to those series on prayer. It's on how to hear the voice of God, how to walk closely with God, how to become a friend of God. And that is the essence of prayer. And that is a work, that is hard work as well, because that's three forms of work, and that is the spiritual work. The spiritual work, we work spiritually, we work physically, and we work intellectually, mentally. So that is the spiritual work. So but in the case of Joseph, when he was in the house of Potiphar, he was working physical work. Then when he was in the prison, he was working spiritual work, because then it was mainly in the presence of God. But then when he was released from prison, he was working mentally. He was doing a lot of mental work. Those are the three areas of work that Joseph excelled. And it is because of hard work that he excelled everywhere. He was able to work both physically, he was able to work both spiritually, and he was able to work both mentally.